Quick, guy over there, if you have any superpower, which one would you choose?
Super strength?
Heh, drink muscle milk, that'll do the trick.
The ability to turn into and or communicate with animals?
Just take a bunch of pets from the pet store, that'll do the trick.
Maybe the ability to phase through walls?
Actually, that is a cool ability, but no. Today we're talking about hair manipulation.
Hair manipulation? What's that?
That's basically hair, what we normally view as aesthetic, having more of a purpose. Being able to be used as a tool or even a weapon. Being able to control each hair like a muscle, like our arms or legs. There are plenty of characters in TV, movies, etc. with this overlooked power. And that's why in this video we'll be counting down the top 10 characters with the power of hair manipulation. And for this list, I'll be joined by my friend NegetiveX to cover this unusual yet kinda useful ability. By the way, your audio sounds a little grainy. Where are you recording from?
I'm actually hiding in a cave currently. I just went out and tried that, going into the pet store thing to get my communication with animals. It didn't go so well.
I shouldn't have suggested things at the beginning to you.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm an impressionable youth.
Number 10 is Entrapta from She-Ra. What do you think she can do with all that hair? Grab? Throw? Strangle? No. Pull levers. Why can't you just pull the levers with your hands? You only have 2 levers that you're pulling. And you just have your hands on your hips. Now it's alright that you drive a tank and have all this science, but why don't you ever go into hand-to-hair combat?
I don't know, it's just such a waste. She has all that potential and just sits there, pointlessly. It makes me sad. So sad.
Number 9 is Yim Chun Tong from Once Upon a Time in China. He fights by putting a knife in his hair and swinging it around when he is in combat. That's not really hair manipulation, that's just using his normal people hair and taking advantage of the situation.
Well, he may be taking advantage of the situation. He's doing more with his hair than most other characters. Look at Hands on Hip Girl over there. Let me turn some levers. Versus this guy's fighting with his hair better than most any I've ever seen. Not to mention, he's an iron body kung fu master. That's like a whole nother superpower.
Number 8 is Jade the Spirit from Mr. Vampire. Now, if you haven't heard of Mr. Vampire, it's a pretty funny movie from Hong Kong, so I'd say check it out. It's pretty ridiculous. My friend recommended it to me. As a ghost, she needs souls, so she seduces one of the main characters and attempts to take it. But don't worry, because his master comes to the rescue. Unfortunately for him, this ghost can fight with what? Hair, of course, or else she wouldn't be on this list. Her main hair-based power? To grab you across the room and probably pull you in. But don't worry, she has a little bit of flair. She kind of commands it like it's a snake or some animal. Look at this move. Boom! Right across the room. Oh, and she's kind of got that eyeball just hanging there. It looks kind of like a gumball. Eyeball gumballs exist, right? Okay, good, that was not just in my imagination. Oh, and she can do this. It's really just for aesthetics. It's not that notable of a power. But just imagine each one of those hairs as a pointy object. You could really annoy your enemies.
She's essentially just throwing porcupines at people with her spiky ball of hair right there. I have to say, this is one hair demoness I wouldn't want to fight.
Number 7 is Sindel from Mortal Kombat. She's great. In the story mode only. Outside of that, maybe not too much. So if you want to see her do well, the story mode's where it's at. But this is a show that doesn't reveal spoilers, so check it out for yourself.
You mean like how she killed everyone like an hour away before the end of the game?
Unfortunately for her, I actually have to look at her hair manipulation ability. She's not too creative compared to other characters. Her move, grab, then throw. That's about it. Sometimes she'll grab, slam them on the ground a few times, and then throw, but in the end, she's still grabbing and throwing them. Don't get me wrong, I love Sindel, but at the end of the day, she just has too many priorities to make her hair attack interesting. She has the Sonic Scream Blast, she has this weird energy ball that apparently drains life, she has this Sonic Scream, and she can fly. She doesn't have time for this whole whip my hair back and forth deal.
We also have to keep in mind that Sindel has a legacy factor. She's been whipping her hair since 1994.
And that's why today's crowd likes playing her so— ooh. Let's just forget I was going to say anything. Number 6 is Sedusa from the Powerpuff Girls. What powers does she have? Well, she can grab her opponents with her hair and throw them.
So she's identical to every other character we've mentioned?
I mean, no. She combined her power with hair gel, causing her opponents to stick to whatever surface she wants them to. It's like taking the extra step. Like cutting the crust off a kid's sandwich because you know he or she does not like crust. And really, she only has one weakness: getting her hair wet, making her powers useless. Oh, and eventually getting her head shaved by the protagonist, but that was only because her hair was wet.
I'm not really sure I'd call that a weakness. How often does it gently rain outside?
Hey, what was that light thunder I just heard?
Probably number 10 sucking at hair manipulation.
Oh, I thought it was a light rain shower to exemplify our joke.
Nah, that would be too convenient.
Yeah, you're right. Number 5 is Yura the Hair Demon from Inuyasha. Now, when doing research for this list, yes, we actually do research, there were a lot of anime characters with the power of hair manipulation. And since I watched Inuyasha back in the day, I knew who Yura was. Technically, the reason I watched Inuyasha was just because it was on Adult Swim, and I was like, wow, Adult Swim anime, it's so much more badass than Toonami anime because it has blood and cursing. Wait, I'm supposed to talk about her hair powers. Well, let's take a look at this list. Well, she can wrap herself in a cocoon of hair. She can use them as puppet strings to control people. She can light her hair on fire and use it as a weapon. But can she grab things? Yeah, probably.
Ooh, that's an unexpected twist on it.
Number 4 is Filia from Skullgirls. Now, technically, it's not her manipulating her hair, but more her demon parasite Samson manipulating her hair. But, you know what, that would just be splitting hairs. Oh god, we should just end the section on that pun right there.
Yeah, end it nice and quick.
Now, Filia without Samson would just be some generic blonde girl, and one that looks stuck up to boot.
Does that girl have horns in the background?
Are you questioning the logic of Skullgirls? You shouldn't be.
You're right, I should have raised my hand first. I'm sorry, Skullgirls.
Now, since Filia's lost all her memory, she really only has the personality of being creative with her hair, or her parasite hair, whatever you want to call it. Seriously, she can create bug pincers, this wheel of death, a drill, a Swiss Army knife, some giant flying bug. Use it to bite okay, you get the idea. Oh, and she can boogie down. However, is she the one in control, or is it her parasite? Am I the only one that thought of that pun? Number 3 is Bayonetta from Bayonetta. Hey, do you know anything about this character?
Honestly, I know nothing at all.
Is that a giant high heel?
Looks like it.
Apparently she can form constructs with her hair and summon demons of sorts.
Kinda like Green Lantern?
I guess so. Now all I can think about is Hal Jordan.
Maybe like a Lady Jon Stewart, which we all know is the best Green Lantern of all.
That is true. Hey, were we talking about something else?
I don't know. Maybe it was about how much number 10 sucks.
You mean Entrapta?
You know I can't say her name without feeling sad.
Number 2 is Bobobo-bo.
Da da da! That's a crazy name.
Don't worry, you can just call him Bobobo for short. He lives in a dystopian future where the leader wants everyone to be bald so he can reign supreme.
That's a strange thing to want as a leader. You know, peace and control? No. Baldies everywhere.
And how does he combat these mighty hair hunters? With the fist of the nose hair.
Oh my god. Is that what I think it is?
I don't know, I can't read minds, but if you're thinking he uses his nose hairs to combat these people, then yes, it is what you think. He can form whips, he can form shields. It's called the Fist of the Nose Hair to parody the anime Fist of the North Star.
That is definitely a unique spin on hair manipulation. One that I never would have thought of in 1,000 years. Like, you know, mustache manipulation? Sure, I'd buy it. But nose hair manipulation? Man who made this must have had some crazy long nose whiskers.
Or maybe just a crazy imagination, because you know what he also has? Things in his afro, like lions, a boy band, 2 chipmunks in love.
Oh, that's great.
Now, for number 1, this character isn't as flashy as some of the other ones. The character can't, say, form giant demons or make a Swiss Army knife with her hair. She can't even...
But can't she at least pull levers with it?
Okay, she's not that bland. Number 1 is Ni-chan, the white-haired witch from the Forbidden Kingdom.
Or like Ni-hair, the white-haired hair lady.
When I first saw this movie, I thought the whole hair technique was really interesting. At first she just used her own martial arts, but then all of a sudden, hair, out of nowhere, as an attack. Unique. And it wasn't something that was overdone, it was really just used whenever she needed it for her own convenience. She used her hair when she just needed an extra hand in fighting, or when she needed to grab onto something, or hey, she used it to grab this bottle of elixir that had immortality in it from across the room. Think about it, you'd do it. You'd probably use it to grab the TV's remote control when you wanted to change the channel if that was across the room.
Not to mention she fights both Jet Li and Jackie Chan, which are 2 very accomplished martial artists, as we all know. The fact that she could stand up to them, even in their movie forms, Really shows how much of a skilled fighter she is.
Also, when she falls off a high elevation in a fight against Jackie Chan's character, she uses her hair to grab onto him and try to save herself. However, no spoilers, but let's just say Jackie Chan has a knife and he cuts something that rhymes with fair. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you know any characters with this strange ability that you may or may not have seen before, let us know.
Please, we'll take anyone to replace number 10.
See you guys next time. Here, let's go over a few of these other possible title cards. Top 10 characters with hair powers. Top 10 characters with hair-based powers. Top 10 characters that can use their hair in
And the
battle.
top 10 characters that can use their hair to pull levers and do other better things than only use their power to pull levers.
Are you implying something?
We all know what I've been implying this entire time.
Are you still in that cave?
Yeah, it's dark and moist. It feels safe.